Warm greetings to all of you on my behalf. Today, I, Abraham T. Varghese, wish to present my views on the topic relevance of the Iranian vision in the post-COVID church scenario. Well, most of us could correctly guess what the post-COVID church scenario would look like. It would be one wherein the likelihood of human social interactions would be very much limited or say restricted. So in these trying, challenging circumstances, how do we navigate a world that would outlast this pandemic? Or let's say, what is the Iranian way of life and why is it relevant and how is it relevant even in today's times? Well, after carefully studying 𝚘𝚘𝚘's life, I came to two major conclusions. One is pain and suffering will only bring us closer to God. Well, if you look at 𝚘𝚘's life, there were instances in which he was questioned, he was put to the test. Two major situations wherein he was put to the test. One wherein when he was being ordained as bishop. So there was a tradition in Malankara Orthodox Church wherein the bishop who was being ordained, the priest was being ordained as a bishop, he had to publicly renounce Pope Leo and the current Pope at the time and the Council of Chalcedon. But 𝚘𝚘, when he was being ordained as a bishop, he refused to do so. He said he would rather face the possibility of not being ordained as bishop than, facing the possibility of renouncing the Pope and the Council of Chalcedon. So after this happened, 𝚘𝚘 was ordained as a bishop despite him not renouncing the Pope and the Council of Chalcedon. The second instance wherein 𝚘𝚘 was put to the test was when 𝚘𝚘 lost the 𝚘𝚘𝚘 case to the Mehran Kakshi, and many people who were willing to cross over to the Universal Catholic Church, they backed out when they knew that 𝚘𝚘 lost the 𝚘𝚘𝚘 case. So 𝚘𝚘 was firm in his resolve. He knew that this was very much important and he had to join the Universal Catholic Church because he knew that it was the only true church, the church which was built on the foundations of Peter, when Jesus himself said that I will build my rock on your foundation with you as the cornerstone. So despite being put to the test, 𝚘𝚘 came out stronger. We know the rest is history, how the church has grown so immensely after 1930. Similarly, even if you look at the Bible, if you look at our ancestors, the life of Jesus, Mother Mary, St. Paul, St. Peter and all the apostles, each one of them has gone through their own shares of trials and tribulations, but in the end they have only come out stronger. Their faith in Christ and their journey with Christ and in Christ and with Spirit, it has only grown stronger in the end. Similarly, in this pandemic, a lot of us were put to the test. A lot of us have suffered so much when we have seen so much death and suffering and anguish all around. So how do we not lose hope in such trying, challenging circumstances? Well, we know if we know anything, if we can gather anything from 𝚘𝚘's life, it is that we cannot lose hope, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Our faith in Christ will only grow stronger as this pain and suffering eases by with the passage of time. The second major conclusion that I think is very much relevant today is that we need to grow ourselves spiritually as well. As we eat food and drink water to satisfy our physical needs, it is very important for us to grow spiritually as well, to grow in our journey with Christ and in Spirit. We need to spend some time to grow ourselves, to nourish ourselves spiritually through Eucharistic communion or through prayers and meditation, contemplation, fasting or thanksgiving. We need to spend some time to study the Bible, to study the characters in the Bible and to study the teachings of Christ so that we can grow in terms of knowledge and wisdom and teachings of Christ. Similarly, as 𝚘𝚘 himself was inspired by monasticism, by the teachings of Saint Basil, who is known as the founder of communal monasticism, wherein you grow in your journey with Christ but also believe in community service to give back to the community. We must be empathetic as we continue to pray, as we continue to grow in our journey with Christ. We must also be empathetic to the underprivileged people who are not as fortunate as we are, and try to make some difference in any way possible. Not every one of us can be a Sonu Sood in that regard. We can make a difference in the little ways we can. Even the intent of helping the people who are in need, even the littlest of contributions, the most little acts with the true intent can make a lot of difference in our lives. These are the conclusions that I find is very much relevant today through Marivanu's life. Thank you.